suppose we should really start off by giving people a quick heads up about what you're about to get into if you're heading into the world of IP in 2110.
Most definitely, Kevin.
So I think, as you know, it's very unlikely that you're going to build a brand new greenfield or brownfield site that's going to be completely IP. And even if you do, I bet there's going to be that SDI cable in there somewhere.
I can guarantee you that. I've seen 100% builds that were IP, and within the first week, they had to pull out some SDI somewhere. Some of it was there wasn't monitors that took what they were doing. Some of it was just other devices, and SDI ended up showing up in a couple places.
So obviously, our customers are going to have some form of migration, and it's probably a good point to start off with explaining the fundamental differences between SDI and IP.
Most definitely.
So SDI, we've been using it now for over 30 years, and it's extremely reliable, robust, and incredibly well behaved, isn't it, Steve?
It is. It is. But it's been around for over 20 years. So it should be pretty well behaved and pretty well understood.
So you'll hear us describe things as being synchronous, deterministic, and it's still a fantastic transport mechanism, isn't it, for moving content from one point to another.
Yeah, and it's for the most part pretty much plug and play. You take two ends of a piece of coax, plug them in, and voila, everything's there.
IP, on the other hand, is a little bit more kind of, well, the great quote I saw is that obviously we're using packets now, and packets arrive when packets arrive.
Yes. Yeah, a IP switch is a statistical multiplexer on its output, really, because you've got video, audio, ancillary data, maybe other traffic. If you're using, more than one service coming down that pipe coming into you, and a packet can only go out the door from a single device. And if two packets come up at the same time, somebody's got to get in front of somebody else. So there's some differences that will happen randomly in IP because you can't get out the door when you want to, and you got to get behind the packet in front of you.
So obviously this is going to be a challenge in our world of TV, where we have cameras that acquire content frame accurately, and it works all the way through the broadcast chain to a consumer's device that again is going to be viewing those frames sequentially and accurately. So yeah, packets arrive when packets arrive. We can get away with for emails and files and stuff like that, but this is now going to be a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, there has to be constraints around how much of that arrive when it arrives can we put up with a video realm.
So as we said, SDI content arrives continuously. We have, traffic flows, and they have moved from 1.5G to 3G, 6G. Some people listening to us now are probably using 12G SDI. So the only thing we've had to worry about when it comes to SDI is we use the term the quality of the road. So it's the cable, it's the connectors, it's the distance that we're putting these signals over. And that's where tools like iPattern and jitter measurement have become synonymous with the chief engineer when he's looking at signal quality within a facility. But when we move to IP, Steve, things change, don't they?
They most certainly do, Kevin.
Now,
our road can get a little more congested.
And that's a common theme you're going to see in the next 45 minutes or so, that congestion is probably our worst enemy. So to kind of summarize this, an SDI error that occurs with only one pixel is probably going to be almost impossible to spot within a picture.
Yeah, because it's only going to change the value of that pixel. The chances of the pixel going away is astronomical. But you take an error and all you're going to do is imperceptibly change the value of that one pixel. You know, when you've got 2 million some odd pixels making a HD or 3G picture, it's one pixel that just barely changed value, you'll never see.
On the other hand, if you drop a packet,
yeah,
that's going to be pretty obvious.
Yeah, because receivers are going to do one of two things. Actually, most receivers absolutely go black because everything is shifted by a quarter of a line in a 1080 picture. So one IP packet is a quarter of a line of video in 1080. And as you can see, Lady Liberty scooted to the left. This is not a picture that I took in and edited. This was an actual error that I created. I dropped a packet, and this is the result of dropping a packet on a piece of video. And you can see the quarter line offset that this particular device did, and you can see the wraparound of the video. So we have to manage that because there is so much information in a single packet.
Yeah. So SDI video, we've all grown up with it. We know how it works. We know what to look for. But we're now moving into a world where, you know, the 7 layer of the OSI model, that's what we're about to go into. It's going to bring us incredible flexibility, but with it, it's going to bring us a different set of tools that we need to understand when it comes to analyzing and monitoring these networks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want people to think that we're poo-pooing 2110. We are not at all. It's just we want to make sure that people understand some of the differences between SDI and 2110. 2110 opens the door, like Kevin just said, for flexibility and being able to do things. You've got a cable, a piece of glass going from point A to point B that has not unlimited bandwidth, but has horrendous bandwidth that we can utilize. And it's not 4 tons of copper weight.